The Zoltraxian fleet, a formidable force hailing from the cold, distant reaches of the Andromedan galaxy, hovered at the edge of the solar system, their ships concealed within the shadow of Jupiter. Commanded by the stern and tactically brilliant General Xylox, the fleet had been preparing for the invasion of Earth, a planet they deemed primitive and ripe for conquest. General Xylox convened his top commanders aboard the colossal flagship, Zoltron Prime, as they approached their target. The war room, bathed in the eerie blue light of their home galaxy, buzzed with activity as strategic displays flickered with data about Earth's geography and climate. Earth is mostly covered in water, with vast landmasses scattered across its surface, General Xylox began, his voice echoing off the metallic walls. Our analysis has identified the deserts as optimal landing sites. They offer wide-open spaces necessary for our operations and minimal population density to contest our arrival. Lieutenant Kraz, a young but astute tactical officer, presented the detailed invasion plans. The Sahara Desert, one of Earth's largest deserts, will be our primary landing zone. Its remote expanse will allow us to establish a stronghold with little resistance. From there, we can deploy our units to strategic locations around the globe. The commanders discussed various aspects of the invasion, from deploying ground troops to setting up communication links back to Andromedan. The fleet's advanced technology, which included cloaking devices and heat-adaptive combat suits, was expected to give them a significant advantage over Earth's primitive defenses. However, Science Officer Telya raised a point of caution. "We must not underestimate the terrestrial environment," she warned. "The desert's extreme temperatures and unpredictable sandstorms could pose operational challenges. Our equipment is designed for our colder climate and may need adaptations." General Xylox considered this, his eyes narrowing. "Prepare environmental simulations immediately," he commanded. "Adapt our gear for these conditions. Remember, our success depends not just on our military might, but on our ability to withstand Earth itself." As the meeting concluded, the fleet began its descent toward Earth, cloaked and silent. The ships pierced the planet's atmosphere like dark specters, heading toward the vast, sun-baked stretches of the Sahara. Unseen by human eyes, the first phase of their grand strategy was set into motion, filled with anticipation of an easy victory. Little did the Zoltraxians know, the Earth had surprises waiting for them that no scans or simulations could have prepared them for. The desert, with its harsh and unforgiving landscape, was ready to challenge the invaders, with conditions more brutal and unpredictable than they could have imagined. As the sleek hulls of the Zoltraxian fleet's vanguard touched down on the arid sands of the Sahara, the stillness of the desert air was shattered by the thud of alien technology planting itself onto terrestrial soil. Dust and sand swirled around the landing sites, forming miniature storms that momentarily obscured the vessels from view. Inside the lead craft, Commander Ural stared out through the observation deck at the vast expanse of golden sands that stretched endlessly in every direction. "Commence operations," he ordered crisply, and squads of Zoltraxians clad in reflective, heat-adaptive armor disembarked, their movements methodical and precise. The initial tasks were clear: establish a perimeter, begin constructing the base modules, and start environmental conditioning systems to mitigate the harsh heat. As the advanced machinery whirred to life, creating a more tolerable microclimate around the base, the alien invaders felt a momentary sense of control over the hostile environment. However, the desert was not as lifeless as the preliminary scans from orbit had suggested. Hidden by the dunes, a group of Tuareg nomads, native to the Sahara, watched the alien activities with a mixture of curiosity and caution. The elder of the tribe, Amara, decided that understanding these strange visitors was preferable to conflict. "We approach with peace," he instructed his people, leading a small delegation toward the alien encampment. The first meeting between Zoltraxians and humans was tense. The nomads emerged slowly from the heat haze, their robes billowing in the wind, while the Zoltraxian guards raised their weapons instinctively. Commander Ural, alerted to the presence of the locals, came forward to manage the situation. "Hold your fire," Ural commanded, his voice transmitted through a translator device. Amara stepped forward, raising his hands in a universal gesture of peace. "We mean no harm," his voice echoed similarly through a makeshift translator provided by his own guide. A delicate dialogue ensued. Amara, with decades of navigating the political and environmental challenges of the desert, offered insights into survival in such an extreme landscape. In exchange, he sought to gain understanding of these visitors' intentions and capabilities. The conversation was cautious, each side probing the other's knowledge and strength. Despite their technological superiority, the Zoltraxians quickly realized they had underestimated Earth's environment and its inhabitants. Uriel, impressed by the nomads' resilience and adeptness at desert survival, saw the potential for a beneficial relationship. "Perhaps there is wisdom here that our scans could not detect," he mused. The meeting ended with an agreement to exchange knowledge. The nomads would teach the aliens how to navigate the desert's treacherous conditions, and in return, the Zoltraxians would provide medical aid and share some of their technological advancements, a first step toward a truce that neither party had anticipated when the sun rose over the Sahara that day. The initial encounter between the Zoltraxians and the Tuareg nomads had set a precedent of cautious cooperation. In the days following the meeting, a small contingent of nomads, led by Amara, returned to the alien encampment to begin their part of the agreement. The desert morning was just breaking, its coolness a brief respite from the day's impending heat, as Amara and his group arrived at the alien base. The Zoltraxian perimeter, marked by shimmering energy shields, hummed softly, a stark contrast to the silent expanse of the Sahara. Commander Uriel and his officers greeted them at the designated meeting point, a tent equipped with environmental controls to accommodate both Zoltraxian and human comfort needs. The space was filled with various devices and screens, displaying data in a script unreadable to the humans but fascinating all the same. Amara introduced his companions, including Malik, a young and keenly observant tribesman, with a particular interest in mechanics and technology. Malik's eyes were wide with curiosity as he took in the alien tools and gadgets scattered around. The session began with the nomads sharing their knowledge about desert survival. They explained the signs of impending sandstorms, methods to find water, and how to navigate using stars, skills honed over generations. The Zoltraxians, for whom the concept of navigating by celestial bodies was primitive yet novel, listened intently, recording every detail. In return, the Zoltraxians shared insights into their technology. They demonstrated a compact device capable of extracting moisture from the air, a revelation to the desert dwellers. Malik was particularly fascinated by this and spent extra time with Kreln, a Zoltraxian scientist, who explained the device's workings and maintenance. As the day progressed, the atmosphere grew less formal. The stark differences in culture and technology became a bridge rather than a barrier. Stories were exchanged and laughs shared when Kreln attempted to mimic Malik's demonstration of a traditional sand dance, stumbling amusingly in the heavy gravity boots designed for Zoltraxian physiology. The exchange was not just about survival techniques or technological advancements, but also about building trust. When a sudden sandstorm swept towards the camp, the Zoltraxians observed how the nomads quickly adjusted the camp's layout to minimize damage. The Zoltraxians then used their technology to create a temporary atmospheric barrier, diminishing the storm's impact on the camp. The synergy of ancient knowledge and advanced technology was a powerful combination, and both groups marveled at how each could enhance the other's capabilities. By the day's end, what had started as a formal exchange had morphed into a genuine connection. The nomads invited the Zoltraxians to visit their community to further their understanding of human ways of life, an invitation that Uriel accepted. As they parted, there was a mutual feeling of respect and the budding sense of an alliance that could benefit both peoples in ways they had yet to fully understand. After the successful exchange of knowledge and the formation of a nascent alliance, Commander Uriel and a select group of Zoltraxian officers were invited to visit the nomadic community. The invitation marked a significant step towards deeper cultural understanding and trust between the two species. The visit was planned not just as a courtesy, but as a crucial part of the Zoltraxians' acclimation to Earth. The morning of the visit, the Zoltraxians, dressed in adapted versions of their armor to better cope with the heat, were escorted by Malik and a few other nomads through the desert. Their path meandered through dunes and rocky outcrops, landscapes that the nomads navigated with ease but which the aliens found alien and challenging. Upon arriving at the nomadic settlement, the Zoltraxians were greeted with a mixture of curiosity and reserved hospitality. Tents were spread out in a circular pattern, with a communal space in the center where daily gatherings and discussions took place. The simplicity and efficiency of the settlement impressed the Zoltraxians, accustomed to the complex structures of their own ships and technology. Amara led the visitors on a tour explaining their lifestyle. "Each part of our settlement has a specific purpose," he explained. "The tents are positioned to maximize shade and minimize heat during the day, and our community decisions are made here, in the center." The Zoltraxians, in turn, shared more about their own societal structures, which were hierarchical and function-based, quite different from the egalitarian and fluid structure of the nomads. The differences sparked deep discussions about governance and social organization, with each group finding fascination and merit in the other's ways. Later, Malik conducted a workshop on desert crafts, including tool-making and garment sewing, which were vital for survival in the harsh conditions. Krelln and other Zoltraxian engineers participated eagerly, comparing these techniques to their own methods of manufacturing and maintenance. In a gesture of goodwill and shared learning, Krelln set up a demonstration of a portable energy generator, a device capable of harnessing solar power more efficiently than any technology the nomads had seen. The nomads were particularly interested in how such devices could be used to improve their irrigation practices, a constant challenge in the arid desert. As the sun set, the community gathered for a meal, a mix of earthly and synthesized Zoltraxian cuisine adapted for human palatability. The meal became a lively exchange of stories about each species' history and legends. Through these stories, the Zoltraxians learned about the Earth's cultural diversity, and the nomads heard tales of distant worlds and cosmic phenomena. The visit culminated in a stargazing session, where the nomads shared their knowledge of the constellations, used for navigation and storytelling. The Zoltraxians, amazed by the human connection to the cosmos through such rudimentary means, shared their own astronomical insights, which included real-time data from their ship's deep space sensors. This visit not only bridged gaps in knowledge and technology, but also in understanding and respect. The Zoltraxians, once intent on conquest, now saw the humans not as subjects to be dominated, but as partners and teachers. For the nomads, the aliens became less of a threat and more of an opportunity for growth and survival. The foundation was laid for a relationship that could withstand the challenges ahead, rooted in mutual respect and enriched by shared knowledge. The developing camaraderie between the Zoltraxians and the human nomads was not viewed favorably by all. Within the Zoltraxian ranks, a faction led by the ambitious and ruthless Commander Vrex saw the alliance as a deviation from their original mission of conquest and domination. Vrex, who had been openly critical of Commander Ural's leadership, saw the collaboration as a weakness, an affront to their military objectives and the supremacy of the Zoltraxian Empire. Fueled by his ambitions and a deep disdain for what he perceived as inferior beings, Vrex began to conspire with his closest followers to undermine the burgeoning alliance. Under the guise of routine patrols and security checks, Vrex and his faction secretly planted explosive devices around the main Zoltraxian base, particularly near the new technologies shared with the nomads. Their plan was to detonate the devices during an upcoming joint cultural celebration, aiming to cause catastrophic damage and frame the nomads for the attack. The plot thickened as Malik, the young nomad who had become particularly close to the Zoltraxians through his interactions with Krelln, stumbled upon a suspicious assembly near the power generators. Seeing unfamiliar equipment attached in a haphazard manner, he reported his findings to Krelln, who immediately recognized the setup as a sabotage attempt. Krelln, understanding the gravity of the situation, alerted Commander Ural and initiated a covert investigation to trace the origins of the devices. Using surveillance data and cross-referencing with recent personnel movements, They traced the components back to Vrex's unit. Meanwhile, Vrex, unaware that his plan had been discovered, continued to rally support for his cause, spreading dissent and paranoia among the troops. He painted the nomads as cunning and deceptive, suggesting that their openness and sharing of knowledge were tactics to weaken Zoltraxian resolve. With the evidence of sabotage clear and the source identified, Ural convened an emergency council meeting. In the meeting, Kreln presented the findings, displaying the explosive devices and explaining their potential damage. The evidence was irrefutable, and the council was faced with a stark revelation of treachery within their ranks. The council acted swiftly. Vrex and his followers were detained before they could carry out their plan, preventing the intended destruction. In a tense confrontation, Vrex defended his actions as necessary for the preservation of their species' superiority, but he was met with disgust and anger from most of his comrades. The exposure of the plot sent shockwaves through both the Zoltraxian and nomadic communities. The trust that had been carefully built was shaken, but the quick action and mutual support in uncovering and stopping the sabotage reinforced the bonds between many of the Zoltraxians and the nomads. In the aftermath, Ural and Amara met to reaffirm their commitment to peace and cooperation. They agreed that transparency and open communication would be vital moving forward, and they established a joint security protocol to prevent such incidents in the future. This crisis, while dangerous, ultimately strengthened the alliance, proving that solidarity and mutual respect could withstand even deliberate attempts to undermine it. The cultural celebration, although delayed, went ahead as a testament to their unbroken spirit and shared resolve to look beyond species and see each other as allies and friends. Following the thwarted sabotage, tensions remained high within the Zoltraxian ranks, while the human nomad communities grappled with the reality of having nearly been framed for a catastrophic attack. Despite this, leaders on both sides pressed for unity and reinforced their commitment to peace, choosing to proceed with the previously planned cultural celebration as a powerful symbol of their alliance. The event was set to take place at the edge of the desert, near the Zoltraxian encampment, where the vast open sands met the technological marvel of the alien outpost. Preparations included an array of traditional Earth festivities mixed with Zoltraxian displays of light and sound, designed to blend the cultures into a vibrant showcase. However, unbeknownst to Commander Ural and Amara, a small contingent of Rex's loyalists had escaped detection and were not willing to lay down their arms so easily. They viewed the cultural celebration as the perfect opportunity to reignite conflict and disrupt the fragile peace. As the celebration began, the atmosphere was one of joy and curiosity. Zoltraxians and humans mingled, sharing foods, stories, and demonstrations of their respective cultural heritages. Malik and Kreln, now firm friends, led a group of children, both human and Zoltraxian, in assembling a simple robotic device that could navigate the sands efficiently. Suddenly, the festive atmosphere was shattered by an explosion on the perimeter of the event. Panic ensued as people scrambled for cover. Through the chaos, another faction of Rex's loyalists launched an assault, armed with non-lethal weapons, intending to cause confusion and fear rather than casualties. Ural, who had been overseeing the event's security from a central command post, acted swiftly, deploying Zoltraxian defense drones to neutralize the attackers. He issued orders for non-combatants to evacuate to predetermined safe zones, a protocol developed jointly with the nomads following the sabotage incident. Malik, witnessing the chaos, spotted several attackers tampering with more of the celebration's infrastructure. Realizing the potential for further harm, he rushed to inform Kreln. Together, they quickly devised a plan to use the robotic devices, initially meant for the children's entertainment, to disrupt the attackers' movements by creating a dense, artificial sandstorm. With Kreln handling the technical manipulation of the devices, Malik coordinated with a group of nomads and Zoltraxians to confront the attackers. As the mini-sandstorm whirled into existence, it disoriented the attackers, giving the defenders the upper hand. Meanwhile, Ural confronted the leader of the attacking group in a tense standoff. With the assistance of nomad mediators, he negotiated an end to the hostilities, leveraging the overwhelming desire for peace among the majority of both populations. The attackers, realizing they were outnumbered and faced certain defeat, surrendered. In the aftermath, as the dust settled and the injured were tended to, the celebration tentatively resumed. This time it bore a new significance. It was not only a display of cultural unity, but also a testament to the resilience and determination of both humans and Zoltraxians to protect their newfound friendship. The thwarted attack, while initially seen as a setback, ultimately strengthened the resolve of both communities to stand together against factionalism and violence. The Battle of Sands, as it came to be known, marked a pivotal moment in the history of their relationship, a clear message that unity would prevail over division. After the tumultuous events of the Battle of Sands, the joint communities of Zoltraxians and nomads were more vigilant than ever, recognizing the fragility of peace and the necessity of mutual protection. Commander Ural, bolstered by the majority's support for peace, took decisive steps to solidify the alliance, ensuring that such disruptive attempts would not endanger their relationship again. In the wake of the attacks, it became clear that a formal structure for cooperation and security was needed. Ural convened a series of meetings with both Zoltraxian and human leaders, including Amara and representatives from other Earth governments who had been observing the unfolding alliance with interest. Together, they drafted the Sahara Accord, a treaty outlining the terms of their cooperation, emphasizing mutual defense, technology exchange, and cultural integration. The accord was historic, marking the first time an alien species entered into a formal agreement with human governments. It stipulated the establishment of a joint security force, combining Zoltraxian technology with human strategic expertise, designed to protect the interests of both parties against internal and external threats. With the accord in place, attention turned to rebuilding and reinforcing the damaged areas from the attack. The Zoltraxians shared advanced building technologies that sped up the construction process and introduced more durable materials adapted to the desert environment. Meanwhile, the nomads contributed their extensive knowledge of the local geography and sustainable practices to ensure that the new structures were harmoniously integrated into the natural landscape. As part of the cultural exchange envisioned by the Accord, a cultural exchange program was initiated. This program included educational workshops, shared celebrations, and open days where Zoltraxians and humans could visit each other's communities to learn and interact in a friendly environment. Malik and Kreln became ambassadors of this program, given their pivotal roles in fostering understanding between the two species. One significant project that emerged from this collaboration was the Desert Learning Center, a combined educational and research facility focusing on environmental science, space technology, and cultural studies. The center was designed to be a hub for students and researchers from Earth and beyond, providing a unique opportunity to study the integration of alien and human technologies and philosophies. The strengthening of the alliance was tested when news of the Sahara Accord and the peaceful outcomes reached Earth's broader public and other galactic civilizations. While most were supportive, some skeptics and hardline groups continued to pose ideological challenges. However, the visible benefits of the alliance, technological advancements, enhanced security, and cultural enrichment gradually won over many doubters. The annual celebration of the Accord became a symbol of their enduring partnership. Each year, the event grew larger and more elaborate, drawing visitors from across Earth and other planets, eager to witness the successful coexistence of two vastly different cultures. Through these initiatives, the Zoltraxians and Earth's inhabitants not only fortified their alliance, but also created a model of interstellar cooperation that could inspire other worlds. The alliance, once fragile and tentative, now stood as a beacon of hope and a testament to the power of unity and mutual respect in the face of adversity. As the Sahara Accord flourished, bringing with it a new era of cooperation and advancement, Earth became a focal point in the Andromedan Intergalactic Council. The successful integration of Zoltraxian technology and human strategy had not only stabilized the region, but also turned Earth into a strategic asset and a symbol of peaceful coexistence. Recognizing the need to formalize Earth's role on a galactic scale, Commander Ural proposed Earth's inclusion as a full member of the Andromedan Intergalactic Council. This move was seen both as a recognition of Earth's newfound technological prowess and as a strategic decision to leverage Earth's location and resources in the broader galactic community. The process was meticulous, involving extensive negotiations and demonstrations of Earth's capabilities and commitments. Earth's governments worked closely with Zoltraxian envoys to align their policies with galactic standards, focusing on issues like space travel regulation, interstellar trade, and planetary defense. A significant milestone in these efforts was the establishment of the Earth-Zoltraxian Defense Alliance, ESDA, headquartered in the Sahara. This body was not only tasked with the defense of Earth, but also with providing aid and strategic support to other planets within the Council's jurisdiction. The SDA showcased a hybrid military approach combining human ingenuity in tactics with Zoltraxian advancements in weaponry and defense systems. The inauguration of the EZDA was marked by the launch of the Defenders Station, a joint military and research space station orbiting Earth. Equipped with the latest in Zoltraxian defensive technology and staffed by both human and Zoltraxian personnel, the station was a testament to their combined strength and a deterrent to any potential threats. Internally, the Sahara outpost, once a mere foothold for an invading force, was transformed into a bustling hub of activity. It was expanded to include the Global Integration Facility, GIF, where technologies from different worlds were adapted and integrated into Earth's infrastructure. This facility became a beacon for innovation, attracting the brightest minds from across galaxies to research, develop, and deploy solutions that benefited entire planetary systems. As part of their commitment to galactic peace and security, the Earth and Zoltraxian leaders co-hosted intergalactic summits. These summits, often held in the vast auditoriums of the Sahara base, brought together leaders from various planets to discuss critical issues facing the galaxy, including resource management, conflict resolution, and environmental preservation. Through these initiatives, Earth's role in the galaxy shifted dramatically. Once seen as a potential target for conquest, it was now respected as a center of diplomacy and innovation. The citizens of Earth, from policymakers to the general populace, felt a renewed sense of purpose and pride in their planet's contributions to galactic affairs. This chapter in Earth's history, sparked by the unexpected encounter with the Zoltraxians, highlighted the transformative power of adversity and the enduring strength of unity. Earth had not only defended itself, but had also risen to become a defender of others, fulfilling a role few could have imagined when the Zoltraxian ships first touched down in the desert sands. As Earth assumed its role on the galactic stage, the bonds between humans and Zoltraxians strengthened into a deep, interdependent partnership. The Sahara, once a barren and foreboding landscape, was transformed into a thriving epicenter of cultural and technological exchange, symbolizing the new era of unity and cooperation. The final chapter in the journey of Earth and Zoltrax began with the establishment of the annual Unity Festival, celebrated at the Sahara base. This festival, attended by beings from across the galaxy, showcased the rich diversity of Earth's cultures alongside alien traditions. Vibrant displays of art, music, and technology demonstrated the harmonious blend of two worlds that had once viewed each other with suspicion. During one of these festivals, Malik, now a leader in the Earth-Zoltraxian Cultural Exchange Program, reflected on the profound changes. "We once looked to the stars and saw them as realms beyond our reach," he mused to a gathering crowd. "Now we stand among those stars as equals, as friends." The narrative of Earth's transformation was captured in the Earth-Zoltraxian Heritage Museum, also located at the Sahara base. The museum housed exhibits on the history of their first contact, the challenges they faced, and the milestones of their alliance. It served as an educational hub, inspiring visitors with stories of resilience and unity. Meanwhile, the Desert Learning Center had evolved into one of the galaxy's premier institutions for environmental and planetary studies. Here, researchers developed technologies that were crucial not only for the survival of harsh planetary environments, but also for the restoration and preservation of ecosystems throughout the galaxy. Projects initiated by the Center had successfully revitalized barren worlds, turning them into habitable spaces, much like the Sahara itself had been transformed. Technological innovation also flourished. The GIF, under the joint leadership of human and Zoltraxian experts, became the birthplace of advancements in energy, medicine, and quantum computing. These technologies not only propelled Earth into a new age of prosperity, but also became vital exports that supported other civilizations in need. Amidst these advancements, the personal stories of those who lived through the Earth, Zoltraxian integration became the most compelling testimonials to their shared history. Documentaries and interactive virtual reality experiences allowed people from all walks of life to understand the fear, hope, and ultimate friendship that defined the alliance. These stories reinforced the values of empathy and cooperation, essential for a peaceful galactic society. The legacy of this unprecedented union was perhaps most evident in the younger generations. Children who grew up visiting the Sahara outpost, whether human or Zoltraxian, saw no distinction between themselves based on origin. Their worldviews were inherently global and galactic, fostering a culture of inclusivity and exploration. As Earth continued to flourish in this new age, it became a beacon of hope and a testament to the potential for peace and progress when disparate cultures unite. The challenges of the past, once overwhelming obstacles, were now the foundations of a robust interstellar alliance, celebrated annually under the bright stars that once seemed so distant. This final chapter closed not with an ending, but with a forward-looking promise. Earth had become not merely a participant in the cosmic dance, but a leader, guiding others on the path of cooperation and mutual respect. The story of Earth and Zoltrax was a beacon across the galaxies, a shining example that out of conflict can come a new dawn of understanding and unity.